Howdy y'all, I'm Staff Sergeant Ez91. I'm TFA's lead trainer. In this video we're going to cover the vehicle training to be certified to drive any vehicle in our arsenal under that is not considered armored vehicle of track, like a tank or an infantry fighting vehicle. With this training you can drive an MRAP, a troop truck, or quick vehicles of a Humvees or Land Rover of similar sorts. Private Ray 64 here is going to be assisting. He is also getting his qualifications done today as well, so it's a good time to do a video. Welcome, Ray.
Hey, everyone.
Alrighty, welcome to the TFA driving course training for your convoy vehicle pass certification. Follow me. We'll go over some the basic stuff that we have set up for vehicles for how we'll drive staggered, and how the gun placements should look, and where the field of fire are, and how you would pull off in a herringbone situation if called for. You ready? Alright, follow me. Covering this stuff so all the drivers know they have to be staggered to prevent any desync rubber banding effects. Alright, here we have 4 U.S. Army green Humvees, woodland dressed. They are staggered, as you can see, 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. They won't be as this close when you're actually driving. You will have to give at least a vehicle and a half distance to give them some safe space, due to vehicle or game settings of desync and rubber banding effect for other people's consoles. This will prevent you from hitting the vehicle in front of you if they were in a straight line. Staggered column is usually the common one we use. In this case, let's take a look at the front vehicle. Follow me. The front Humvee, or the Hummer, or whatever vehicle you utilize, can choose the side of the road he prefers. You will pick this side, and you will stick to that side as best as you can throughout the mission. If you come to the stops and stuff, you can choose another side. You are setting the staggered column setup. If you choose right side of the road, the vehicle behind you will take the left side. The vehicle behind them will take the right side. There'll be a gap between. They'll be directly in view of you. With this setup, lead vehicle's gunner will be covering the front sector. If you look at the front as a clock, your nose is 12 o'clock. The gun will be covering the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, back to 9 o'clock. So 12, 9, 12, 3. You have a 180-degree field of fire. Vehicle 2, that is directly behind you, depending on the side of the road he is covering. In this case, he is on the left side. So he will be covering from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock down to 6 o'clock. He will cover those field of fire. They're overlapping, but he will not shift over any further. Vehicle 3, depending on its side, in this case, he is covering the opposite side. He's covering the right side. He will cover from 12 to 3 to 6 o'clock position. You'll always cover those. You'll be always scanning those positions. No matter where you're driving, if you're driving through a friendly zone or not, you will always be scanning and watching your view. You check windows, you check alleys, you check every crevice you can when you're scanning, when you're coming up through spots. Rear vehicle is similar to what the lead vehicle will have, but in the reverse setting. He will be covering from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. He is covering the 6 o'clock position. He is covering the ass end of the convoy. He is vital. If the vehicles are coming up quick, he has to call. They'll call it up to the squad leader. They'll call it to the platoon leader, and they'll call up the commander to verify there is a vehicle inbound on them. The rear gunner will authorize to fire a single warning shot or quick burst to warning shot. They'll have to call it out there giving a warning shot. Hopefully the vehicle either to deviate, or if they don't, they are clear to engage them as a possible threat. But always, always get permission first. Let's move on to the next setup. In this setup, this is the herringbone setup. We have multiple vehicles pulled off to the side of the roads. You use better cover, but in this case we're just showing you how it will look as you staggered off. This Humvee over here is the last Humvee. He is the last of the vehicle. He would be covering the 6 o'clock. He would be the last to pull off. This next Humvee is the opposite side. He is in front of him. This unfortunate Humvee is unarmed. So they're going to try to utilize the best cover they can when they pull off. He could pull up further, but for this time, we're just showing you. Next Humvee, another unarmed, but you could have a gunner sticking out if needed. But he also will pull off the best to get cover. But as you can see, if you look back, they are staggered. Left side has a gap, right side has a gap. And they're filled by the way they pull off. It's how the vehicles will pull off. If you're on the left-hand side, you pull off left side. If you're on the right side, you pull off right side. Same thing with this gunner. Utilize better cover and have good field of fire if need to. At times, you don't want to get pushed too close if your objective is a certain distance. Utilize the best cover you can, but if you're the lead vehicle, you pull off your side as best you can, or if you have to cross to the other side for better cover, do so. But prefer to stick to your side of the road you're traveling on. Private Ray, any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright, let's go to the Humvees. And what's utilized is you driving. We're going to start out with using the speed control limiter. We're going to start out at 20 kilometers an hour. Slow, but steady. Sound good?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. And for those who are wondering how to set the speed limiter, when you get in your vehicle and you start it, you press the delete button. Once you hit the delete button, it'll pop up the speed limiter is set. Then you use your control and scroll wheel to set the desired speed it goes. You usually start out in 5 increments with this 5 kilometers. You get up to 20. Once you get to up to that 20 kilometer an hour, you let off. Your vehicle will not go over 20 kilometers an hour. As my vehicle's this is the Arsenal, as said already. Utilize you can use either front or rear. I'll show you. Here's pressing delete, control, scroll up 20. Now we're set. Not gonna call it. Private Ray 64. This is Sergeant Nez 91 on 60. Louder copy.
Copy, Sergeant.
Copy. In this, if you are driving, usually you'll have someone else on the radio of the vehicles, but we can utilize the long range, or we can also utilize the short range. We'll go to short range, but I just wanted, in the video, we do have long range radios in the trucks.
Copy, Sergeant.
Alright, take us out. I just brought up my GPS to the left. We have already had a set designated driving route. We're already set. The speed limiter is 20. So we're driving at 20. We got a good speed distance. Slow down there a second, Ray, so I can catch up.
Copy, Sergeant.
Alright, continue. You slow down to make sure you don't have too much of a gap where the enemy can get in between you. It could cause some severe damage. In an actual big training we'll have multiple help on this. We have a gunner on each vehicle scanning. We have no threats. It's a driving portion. And as happens, he backs up. Almost misses turn. It happens. In a situation, you would actually have an elite vehicle always have a gunner, driver, and a commander.
Standing by, Sergeant. Vehicles inbound.
Copy. Take left side and go around them. Of course, the Army likes to leave their vehicles in the road. Alright, engine's off. Now, we made it back. Might not seem like a lot, but his portion of this is driving and knowing you have to slow down, we have vehicles in the way, utilizes it. Excellent work there, Private.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Any questions on this portion? Utilize, we actually had a gunner and a commander that would have guided you in keeping radio contact with everyone in the vehicles. Since it was just us two, we were able to keep the radio contact. You were able to slow down when I had a hard time. You got too far apart, which we were both at the same speed, but you took off before I was able to take off.
Affirmative, Sergeant.
But in this situation, he did excellent. Everything would be adjusted to based on numbers of people. If we got more people, we had larger things, we'll have set up better. This is but the overall view of this training. Understand the vehicles. We have different modded vehicles. We have different country vehicles. And each weapon systems are different, so we always had to cover all that. For this video, it's a general idea of you understanding what we're looking for vehicle training. Excellent work. Good job, sir. Thank you for assisting. And for everyone else, thank you for watching my video.